Greetings once again to my fellow watch enthusiasts on YouTube and Facebook and anywhere else this video might be playing. Tis I, Celine Driver, once again. Wanted to make another one of my videos in what I'm calling my Watches for Life series. An idea I came up with about pulling out certain types of watches or groups of watches from my collection and talking about why I like them or why I choose them or something like that. Today's video is going to be it came from an idea that I got from my daughters, believe it or not. We were in the car one day and kicking around the idea of watches. They're not really watch enthusiasts, but I was talking about them, and one of them remarked about, well, you have so many, you can't take them with you, kind of thing. You can't take them all with you. And it started kicking around in my head, if I was to go somewhere, vacation or a little travel or whatever, what would I take with me? And I settled on the idea of 3 watches. Probably one would be a dive style watch or a rugged style watch. Another one would be a formal watch for going out in the evening. And a third one would be kind of a daily wear style watch. So I thought, let's pull out a few watches from each of those categories from my collection and make a video on each one and say why I would choose this and sort of, open it up to the audience and let them say, what do you think of these 5? For example, these are all dive watches. And I picked them out. I have a lot of dive watches when I think about it. Probably too many. The sickness has definitely taken hold. I love them all. These 5 I picked out because they are 5 of my favorites. And of these 5, I'm going to pick one and see if you agree or disagree with me. Let me know what you think. Oh, by the way, if you hear like pitter pattering in the background, I'm not sure how good this mic is. We're being influenced by Tropical Storm Alberto today, being the 26th of May, 2018. So that's rain hitting my roof. So let's get started here. I have, working from this side to this side, I have a Zelos Mako in the blue. You might notice a theme here of blue. Blue's my favorite color. I have a Seiko 5 SRP 351K1, or as I affectionately call it, my Gator watch. And if you don't understand the reference, being from the States or you're over in Europe or Asia, Google Florida Gators. You'll figure it out. I have my favorite of all my Squales, the 1521, in the teal blue. I have one of my earliest major acquisitions. I have my Doxa Sub 750T GMT Caribbean, also in the sort of gator theme with the orange down here and the gorgeous blue dial. And then I have a watch that has not been seen on this channel before. This is something I got from my father, who, yes, is still alive. Yes, he is a watch guy too. And he bequeathed me his Rolex GMT Mark II. Originally had a Pepsi bezel on it, but I like the Coke bezel, so I had it changed to a Coke bezel with authentic parts. Yes. Whenever I wear that watch, I think of my father, even though he's still alive and doing well, and great guy. Very appreciative of the watch. Anyway, all of these are great dive watches. Probably if I was actually going diving, actual diving, I'd probably reach for this Doxa first. And yes, the crown is screwed out. This is not on a winder. I wind this watch, so I don't want to beat up the threads by screwing and unscrewing. So I leave my crowns unscrewed until I wear them. So please save me the recriminations. This is a serious dive watch, as anyone who knows Doxa knows that. I mean, it is. I mean, you know you got a serious dive watch when your bezel has actual dive table information on the watch, not just, minutes, which is nice. I mean, it's certainly more than functional, but if you have actual dive times based on depth in your bezel, you're serious. And well, this bezel is jammed, unfortunately. It seems to be. So I can't turn it. I have to get that dealt with at some point. And this crown actually steers the inner GMT tract. And it's, see, as you can see, it moves the inner tract. But the bezel is stuck down, unfortunately. But I'll get that dealt with at another time. But they both screw down for the water tightness. But if it were working, obviously, I have other Doxas as well with the same bezel. So a Doxa, if I was on a dive trip, this would be my first reach. But I'm not actually a diver, although, it might be nice to do it recreationally on a vacation. So maybe. If I was an unusual talking piece blue, the Squale is definitely in the mix. Nice bezel action. Gorgeous blue. Wears well, very comfortable. Love the mesh, shark mesh band. Would look great, function great. A little shiny though. Might be a little worried if I was going to a part of the ocean where there were barracuda, but barracuda like shiny things. So, love my Mako. Zelos makes a great piece. I actually have currently 11 Zelos watches. Some of them are the bronze watches, and some of them are steel, and one titanium. I actually have 3 Makos. I picked up a third one recently. It is black dial and a black and blue. This section from the top here to the 15-minute part is blue. The rest of the bezel is black, the Batman style. I didn't do a video of it because I already have done 2 videos on the Mako, and that seemed a little redundant to me. Beautiful piece, wears comfortably, solid, good down to, I believe it was 200 meter. So just a good looking watch. Might be a little small for scuba diving. That would be my only concern. A little harder to see, but not by much. Now, if I were traveling to Gainesville, Florida for a Florida Gator football game, there's only one watch in my collection that I reach for, and that would be my Gator Seiko. Now, it's a pilot's watch, and this bezel is, bidirectional and has the pilot stuff on it, which literally means nothing to me. I have no idea what it means. Fuel calculations and so on. Someday I'll sit down and read the manual and figure out how to do it. But beautiful watch, beautifully polished, wears well, comfortable bracelet, which feels it does not rattle, it does not feel cheap. It feels silky smooth right here. It just I've had this for a little while now, and I just love it. I mean, every time I see it, I think about the hunt that I went through to get this and find it and buy it, and it makes me smile even more. Oh, by the way, somebody pointed out to me after I made my video on it that this bezel would be better named. I called it a gear style, and somebody else pointed out that you could call it a sawtooth style. So thank you for that. You're right, I'm wrong. I'll call that a sawtooth style bezel. And then the Rolex. Rolex, the Submariner is obviously the prototype for dive watches, or one of them. Dive watches to deal from. I just picked these because these are the ones that talk to me the most. So, of these five, I've got to think about what type of trip I'm going to take. If it's a trip that's going to involve a lot of water, a lot of diving or snorkeling, or I know I'm going to be in the water a lot. I gotta say, I gotta eliminate my Gator because it's not a dive watch, and I'd have to eliminate the Rolex because it's not a dive watch. And it would be down to these three: my Doxa, my Squale, or my Zelos. And obviously the Zelos is on a leather band, but that's easy to change. I have a rubber band, which I'm not fond of, and I could always find a metal bracelet for it. But I'd have to say, if I were going to be in the water a lot, I'd go with the Doxa after I get the bezel fixed. But I have other Doxas that the bezels work, so I'd have to go with the Doxa if I were going on a dive trip. Now, if I was going on a regular trip and it wasn't going to be a lot of water, it was just going to be being around, being active during the day, well, I'm actually going to pick the Rolex. 3 reasons. One, it is absolutely gorgeous, and while being very functional. It also wears beautifully. It's not too bulky. It fits under long sleeves, and looks good in short sleeves. It's just a good overall daily wear watch. Second reason is the GMT function, which this has obviously, but I was getting away from the dive for a second. So GMT function. And most importantly, and this may or may not sound corny to you, but when I wear this watch, I think of my dad. And my dad is one of my heroes. So I look up to my dad. And when I wear this watch, it reminds me of my father and all he's done for his family, for me, for my mom, for our community. And I love wearing this watch just for that reason alone. So if I'm traveling and I need a daily wear watch and I'm not diving, I'm going with the roller. If I am diving or swimming or doing a lot of that, I'm going to pick a Doxa. Squale, very, very close second. And, very, very close second or third would be the Zelos. The Seiko is a favorite, but I'm going to be doing 2 other videos in this vein. I'm going to be doing another one of evening wear watch and another one of a sport type watch. So, comments down below. If you like it, give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing. Love to get new subscribers. I'll answer any comments, and thank you for watching. Have a good day. See you in the next